Swerdlow for Expansions.com, and this is the current events for March 24th, 2011. Very interesting story came up in the news this morning about two airliners that landed without official airport traffic control at Washington, D.C.'s Reagan Airport this week. The incidences occurred shortly after midnight when apparently the American Airlines jet that was coming in for a landing radioed the tower asking for permission to land and of course for coordinates, and there was no response. They even tried contacting the tower through a landline and there was no response. And so they landed, thankfully, safely, and this was followed by a United Airlines jetliner that had the same issue, trying to contact the tower with no response whatsoever. Now imagine this, a major airport in the capital of the United States with no one responding from the tower to major airliners. That is quite scary. And the cover story was that either the one controller who was on duty at the time fell asleep or was locked out of the tower. Now, either way, those answers are absolutely unacceptable. That could have caused the deaths of hundreds, if not thousands of people if the airliners had collided or landed in a wrong runway or what have you. Why could this happen? How could this happen? Major airport in the United States with no one in the control tower? This is unheard of. And so I am sure that there's more to this story than has been revealed to us. And I will let you know as soon as I find out, as I do have actually one of my sons who has been studying to be an air traffic controller and may have some inside information, then I will be reporting to you. Another interesting story that happened just yesterday was the unfortunate bombing of the bus station in Jerusalem in Israel. According to the reports, this bomb was placed on the side of a telephone booth and then exploded, killing one person and injuring about 30 others, some of them severely. Now, there has not been a terrorist attack in Israel to this magnitude for the last 4 years. It just hasn't happened, and the security has been very tight. So how could this happen now? Well, I am sure that this was not actually done by Palestinians, and I hate to say it, but I think this was an inside job, possibly by the Mossad, the Israeli intelligence agency, that needed to drum up some support for their war in Gaza, where there have been rockets fired into Israel from Gaza that have hit Ashdod and Beersheba and injured many people. Of course, the Israelis retaliated by bombing Gaza and killing some small children that were playing on a field. So either side is not good. Bombing and killing people, there's no reason for it whatsoever, but I do feel that this bombing was staged for purpose of inciting the Israeli population against what's going on around them now in the surrounding Muslim countries, and for also perhaps evoking some extra sympathy from European and American supporters who will boost the Israeli economy and government. On another note, and this will be the last topic for this particular video, I want to talk about the food shortages that may be coming up now here in spring and summertime in the Northern Hemisphere. As you know, last year there were tremendous fires in Russia that burned a lot of their wheat crops and other crops. There were floods here in the United States that wiped out a lot of food crops. And of course the weather, both in Europe and North America and South America, have really created a lot of damage. There were even frost and snowstorms as far south as Mexico that destroyed many of the crops there as well. So because of this, and adding to that the last year's Gulf oil disaster, the tsunami in Japan, the earthquakes everywhere, not only will food be at a very high premium and maybe more scarce, but also utilities like oil will be also very high priced, and we can already see the gasoline and petrol going up in price at the pumps while we speak. Just daily they're going up. And really, there isn't any reason for it because, as I've reported to you many times, the U.S. has enough reserve in gasoline and oil to last for years and years to come, even if they never produced another drop. So this is just another way of getting more money out of your pocket. I do suggest that you grow your own food if possible. Keep some food on stock, the kind that won't spoil in case the electricity goes out. Be as self-sufficient as you possibly can. Alter your diet so that you only eat good things and not the junk food, because I think that since most people are hooked on the junk stuff, that's the kind of food that's going to disappear first, because that's what people will want the most. So be on your guard, take precautions, don't believe everything you hear on the media, and start getting some food now that you can store. Get some distilled water, organic raw honey, that kind of thing that you can use in case of an emergency. So until next time, this is Stewart A. Swerdlow for Expansions.com.